All right, I got hit. I woke up this week to the dreaded tear down. I went from tier 100K to 50K like that. So in this video, I want to talk about that, what this tear down means, why I think Amazon is moving forward with these changes. I also want to talk about how this is going to change my strategy moving forward. So I know a lot of you out there may also have been tiered down. I've seen it from everything from, tier 50 all the way down to tier 10. And I've seen it from people in tier 100,000 like me up to even tier 200,000. So these changes are happening across the board. Whether you're a beginner or a veteran, this may be of interest to you because there's a lot of indicators, right, as to why Amazon may be doing this and what this means for our industry. Real quick, this isn't like cry me a river. Oh, I'm down to tier 50,000. It's really not at all. I know some of you guys out there are in tier 10, tier 100, or even waiting to be tiered up. So this isn't cry me a river like that. I'm very fortunate. I'm still in a very high tier. I'm very fortunate to be a participant in this amazing program. I'm just trying to pass along, some insight into my account and being transparent with you guys. Now, my initial reaction was like, okay, that sucks. Like, I felt like I just got kind of chopped down for no reason. I really worked hard to try and fill my slots and create good designs and all that. But after thinking about it a little bit and sort of reflecting on what this means and zooming out, looking at the big picture since I started selling on Amazon to where we are today, the changes that it's made, I actually came to the conclusion that I think this is better for the platform, better for POD sellers like me or you who are watching this, because it's going to raise the bar overall. All right. So what I've put together here is a little bit of a slideshow, right, to tell you the progression of the Merch by Amazon platform. Because I think at times like this, whenever there are these big programmatic changes, that's often a fork in the road for entrepreneurs. Some people say, I'm going to, roll with these changes and continue forward. And other people say that's the last straw, right? They've taken too much, they've done too much, and I'm now going to pivot and move away. So there's been a lot of ups and downs and changes with the Merch by Amazon program over the years. Certainly since I've been involved and even well before I was involved. So let me go through this because I think it may open your eyes a little bit. But before we get into that, let me show you exactly where I was with my uploads and some of my statistics. Because if you're watching this, maybe you've been tiered down. We're trying to kind of figure out what's the pattern here. So here's a screenshot of, can you guys see that? Yeah. Here's a screenshot that I took the morning I was tiered down. So I was tiered down on May 20th. You can see right here. And tiered down to 50,000. Now, at that time, I had 54,005 designs live. So that would have said 54,005 of 100,000, right? But since they tiered me down, I'm actually at over quota, right? So that means I have to delete 4,005 designs or 4,006 designs in order to upload anything. I need to get below that threshold. Live products here, you could see I was at 678,000 of, what is that, 4 million or so. Anyway, this is where I was. I don't know exactly how many of my designs have sold. If anyone knows exactly where you could find specifically how many individual designs have sales, I'll put that in the comments because I'll be happy to add that. So to sum it up, my initial reaction was like, oh, I got tiered down. That sucks. It feels like a setback, It feels like someone just turned down my level. But really, if you think about why Amazon is doing this, you got to understand they're trying to kind of control the quality of the platform. And if you've been selling on Amazon for any period of time, it really doesn't matter if you do KDP, FBA, or MBA, you could probably see some of the quality issues that have been increasing over the past few years. With the rise of AI, right? All these amazing AI tools now, it's easier than ever to create tons and tons of designs at very, very high output. So Amazon is trying to control that. So here I am, a tier 100,000 seller, and I've been in this tier for 4 years, and I've only managed to fill about 55% of my slots. And to me, that was a lot. That was hard. But they're trying to reduce that extra runway so that it prevents people from just uploading junk. And I don't want junk on the platform. I want Amazon to be a good, high-quality platform, not overrun with AI designs and copycats and duplicates and blah, blah, blah. And listen, I know Amazon has their issues, and I don't want to get into that right now. It's far from perfect. But the point is, They're trying to control that, and they're trying to incentivize sellers who earn their way up. They're trying to create somewhat of a merit system where if you fill your slots with good quality designs and those designs make sales, then you're going to get tiered up, as opposed to just meeting some random slot fulfillment threshold. I mean, there's no question people were filling these slots with absolute junk so that they could tier up, because a bigger tier account is better. But really, I don't think it matters. I mean, I know people who are in low tier accounts like tier 4,000, tier 2,000, who make really, really good money with Merch by Amazon. All right, so I'm going to run through these pretty quick, and you guys can always pause it and read more of the details. But I just want to show you the progression of this program from when it started right here in 2015 to where we are today in 2025. Basically 10 years. This program is now a decade old. So back in 2015, that's when it started, and it was an invite-only program. You actually had to be invited by Amazon, and I think they sent it to app developers from what I've been researching and reading. It was only standard t-shirts, it was only US marketplace, and royalties back then paid over $7 for a $19.99 t-shirt. Pretty awesome, right? Okay, this is the early days. 2016, demand starts to really catch on. There becomes a wait list, right, for Merch by Amazon. Youth and women's sizes get uploaded. And that's the first holiday season where there was sort of a freeze, right? Where publishing and uploading new designs got slowed down. And I think this was because a lot of designs were still manually reviewed by individual people at Amazon. And it was growing really, really quick. 2017, Amazon expands, right? And they add long sleeves and premium tees. And there's a major upload freeze during Q4. Same problem as before. I'm not sure if it was logistics, printing capacity or what, but it's showing that the demand was of not only purchases, but also sellers, creators, was surpassing Amazon's capability. So you had another freeze, frustrating sellers. And then they announced that they're going to do a royalty cut, right? That was kind of the first announcement. Hey, guys, we're going to change prices, all right? And that happened in 2018. Royalties for standard $19.99 t-shirts drops to $5.38, right? This is exactly when I joined Merch by Amazon. January of 2018 is when I did my very first upload. At that time, they also rolled out new products in 2018, hoodies, sweatshirts, pop sockets. They expanded to the UK and Germany marketplaces, and the application process was revised. And I think that around this time is when it resembles the current application, where you can enter in more details about maybe your background as a seller, your print-on-demand experience, things like that. 2019, they bring out tank tops, V-necks, raglans, right? They introduce a multi-product uploader, right? Royalties are, again, there's a slight tweak sometime in 2019. And this is a big one. This is when the 365-day listing lifespan is introduced, meaning if your design doesn't sell within 365 days, it's automatically deleted off the platform. That's the first kind of signal that Amazon is saying, hey, we're going to start purging stuff that doesn't sell off of here. In 2020, right, the program expands again. France, Italy, Spain, and Japan. Phone cases are added. But then we get this big bombshell, right? COVID comes in, shuts down, halts U.S. production, and the program is just dead in the water. I mean, there's just like nothing going on. A lot of people thought right then, oh, I'm getting out of this. It's too risky. They could just pull the plug at any time, And this is just, again, I'm trying to show you guys some of the ups and downs of this program. A lot of expansion, but also some cutbacks. It's just growing. It's just progressing. All right, now after 2021, the program stabilized, opened back up after that few-month shutdown. The content policy began to be streamlined. Still a lot of questions on that, but they began to tighten things up a little bit about that. They added some more basic downloadable reports and analytics. And this is also when you start to see a lot of third-party tools start to get popular, right around that late 2020, early 2021 timeline. 2022, they changed from Merch by Amazon to Merch on Demand. They allow this auto-publishing feature where you can select your designs to be auto-published to other marketplaces. Again, there's some translation updates where Amazon will translate your listings. again, these are just some of the progressions and changes with the program. 2023, we get another royalty cut, right? So now that $19.99 shirt is cut down to $4.67. We also get these max price caps for UK and EU designs. Sometimes older listings are showing these locked prices, right? Where we can't actually change the prices on them unless we opt out beforehand. But there's some improvements as well, right? Again, on expanding some of the features within the platform. In 2024, started off with a pretty promising start, right? They beta tested crop tops and oversized t-shirts, but they also kind of froze tier ups. It seems like hardly anyone was tiered up throughout 2024. There was a lot of chatter online, right, about flooding the marketplace with fake accounts and people selling merch by Amazon accounts and people getting accounts through the Amazon influencer program and blah, blah, blah. And it seems like Amazon just kind of hit the brakes on tiering people up. And that kind of brings us to where we are now, right, which is year to date 2025. And this is the big bombshell, right? It's this new tier system. So tier downs were introduced. I got hit again, 100K to 50K. And this new tier up system is supposed to factor in more metrics related to your recent sales, your slot efficiency, your rejection rate, your quality of designs. All of that is meant to be kind of more of a merit-based system, right? Instead of just meeting a quota of filling your designs, now they're saying, not only do we want you to fill your designs, but we want them to be good designs that are actually going to sell. And nobody really knows the true formula that Amazon is going to use to make these changes. But the point is, they're looking at the creators to be focused on quality designs that are going to resonate with customers and make sales. There's some other big changes in 2025. There's these locked sale badges, right? Where if they run a sale on your design, it's locked. You can't change the price. They say that the volume should even out with the lower royalties by increasing the amount of, quantity of units that you sell. All right, so what's the point? The point is, over the past decade, 10 years since this program has been around, it has shifted, adapted, expanded, constricted, and grown a lot. And there's been plenty of hurdles and obstacles along the way where one might say, hey, this isn't for me anymore. They've done too much. It's the last straw. And I don't see this tier up as any different. And I think if you look at it through a silver lining, this is actually going to benefit the platform overall. And it's going to force creators and sellers like myself to focus on quality as opposed to just quantity. That may not be for every case. Maybe there are some people out there that were just unjustly tiered down and it's really put a kink in their workflow or in their ability to progress. But I think overall, if you take me as an example, it makes sense why I was tiered down. So what's my plan moving forward? There you have it right there. Adapt or die, right? Meaning you either got to get with the program or get out. So for me, that's two prime areas, right? I'm going to focus on quality and originality. Big shocker, right? Oh my gosh, this is revolutionary. Not really. Let me explain. So in the past, because I had so many tiers, I often would try and scale out designs and take one design and templatize it across many designs. And when you do that, you're kind of brushing with really broad strokes, all right? And you can find success that way, and I've found some success that way. But now, since I don't have as many slots and as much runway to just upload and test, I need to narrow it down. So instead of using a broad brush, I'm going to use a fine brush. And I'm going to try and go more narrow and deep. So maybe instead of creating 100 scaled designs, I'll focus on creating 5 high-quality targeted designs. I know this is not revolutionary. It's not like I've never done this in the past, but it does sort of change the perspective a little bit when now they're issuing tier downs for people who aren't utilizing their tiers and their slots to the maximum capacity with quality designs. The next thing that I'm going to focus on is originality. And this is something I've been doing a lot more over the past year or so. But what I mean by that is just simply more original and unique ideas, right? So I want to find a niche. I want to dive really deep into it, understand it, learn about the people who wear stuff in that niche and create something new and original that hasn't been done. And they're still some of my best sellers, many of them just simple text. If you can just nail it just right, It doesn't have to be a complicated design. It just has to be original and really, really precise to exactly what that buyer is looking for. So that's going to be my focus. I'm going to turn down the quantity of my designs and turn up the quality while focusing on deep, narrow, niche research and originality. All right, guys, if you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're a print-on-demand seller out there watching this, I'd like to invite you to my Merch Mastermind private POD community. This was something that was started by me and fellow POD YouTuber Philip Anders, who's a great friend of mine. And it's a place where we're trying to put together a community of like-minded, positive, uplifting, and resourceful print-on-demand entrepreneurs. We all realize the power of print-on-demand. It's helped change my life. It's helped change Philip's life and many, many other people. We primarily focus on the Merch by Amazon platform, but we're expanding and growing our Etsy content as well. Our focus is in two main areas: niche research, which applies to any print-on-demand platform, and AI, specifically AI tools for design creation and workflow automation. All of those things are important and relevant if you want to grow and continue to adapt to the changing print-on-demand landscape. Our membership gives you access to a classroom full of resources with courses on AI t-shirt prompting, niche research, trademark, copyrights. We have a fantastic community of over 100 members from all over the globe. You can even see on the map where other print-on-demand entrepreneurs may be located in your area. Inside, we have all kinds of great stuff going on. Every week, Philip gives out AI prompts. I give out niches to try and help you make sales and get on the board. We have expert advice. We have special guests who come on and give live Q&A calls just to our members. So if you're feeling stuck with print on demand, maybe you've plateaued, maybe you have an old account you haven't touched in a while and you want to start earning some extra money, consider joining our private community. I promise we're here to help. We have a great community of members, and every day we are answering questions, sharing resources, feedback, and everyone is improving. There's a link down below to sign up. There's a free 7-day money-back guarantee, so you really don't have anything to lose. If it's not for you, no problem. And last thing, I also have a newsletter, and I'll put a link down below as well. Sign up for my free newsletter. I just share more insights into my print-on-demand business and some of my other side hustles. And you also get a copy of my free niche research guide if you sign up. So that's it. Thanks, guys. Hopefully it won't be so long until the next video. Drop a comment or a question if I can do anything to help, and thanks for watching.